Hello and a very warm welcome to this edition of Question Hour from Parliament House Complex, where we bring you important unstarred questions asked by the members of the Rajya Sabha and the answers given by the government. So today also we've brought several questions to you, and I'm Kriti Mishra. Joining me is my colleague Vishal.
Well, thank you so much, Kriti. And you rightly pointed out, we have a number of questions which are marked for several ministries of the government asked by several members. So let's take these questions one by one. And the first one is from the member Anand Sharma, and this question is to the Ministry of Finance, where the member wants to know from the government whether its attention has been drawn to the demand of Indian industry to bring in the direct tax code.
Well, the answer is a negative, and the government says that there's no proposal right now under consideration for direct tax code. However, the government has constituted a task force to draft a new direct tax law under the convenership of Arvind Modi, the then member legislation CBDT, with original terms of 6 months for submission of report to the government, which was extended by a period of 3 months. The terms of reference being to draft and appropriate direct tax legislation keeping in view the direct tax system prevalent in various countries, the international best practices, the economic needs for the country, and any other matter connected thereto. The next question also pertains to the Ministry of Finance, and this question has been asked by member Nadimul Haq, and he has asked about the details of willful defaulters in private as well as public sector banks.
Well, the Ministry of Finance has given a very detailed answer to this question, and it says that as per inputs received from Reserve Bank of India, the total number of both suit filed and non-suit filed willful defaulters of rupees 25 lakh and above in public and private sector banks was 9,431 as on 31st of March 2017. 10,857 as on 31st of March 2018 and 11,632 as on 31st of December 2018. That is an increase of 15.12% in 2017-18 over 2016-17 and 7.14% in 2018-19 till 31st December 2018 over 2017-18. Now, the outstanding amount of willful defaulters of 25 lakh rupees and above in public and private sector banks was 1,73,289 crores as on 31st of December 2018. The ministry further says that as per inputs received from PSBs, 1,475 FIRs have been filed against willful defaulters during the last 3 financial years. Willful defaulters have been acted against comprehensively, and as per data reported by public sector banks, including IDBI Bank Limited, which has been recategorized as a private sector bank with effect from 21st of January 2019. The data till 31st of March 2019, suits for recovery have been filed in 10,022 cases. Now, in cases involving secured assets, action under the provisions of Securitization and Reconstruction of Financial Assets and Enforcement of Security Interest Act 2002 has been initiated in 8,067 cases. Further, in accordance with RBI instructions of initiation of criminal proceedings, wherever necessary, FIRs have been registered in 3,154 cases. Well, the next one is to the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas, and this one has been asked by member R.K. Sinha, who goes on to ask the government about the number of LPG subscribers who opted to give up subsidy in the country during the last and current financial year statewise, the details of money received or likely to be received on this account, and the proposal of government to utilize this money and the purpose for it will be utilized.
Well, as of 27th June 2019, more than 1 crore consumers have given up their subsidy under Give It Up campaign. Estimated savings due to Give It Up campaign during financial year 2018-19 was 2,930 crore rupees. Further, the government has launched the Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana on 1st of May 2016 with a budgetary allocation of 12,800 crore, under which poor women, subject to fulfilling terms and conditions, are given gas cylinders. All marketing companies have already released more than 7.27 crore LPG connections under the scheme as on 27th of June 2019 against a target of 8 crore. The government further says that it has introduced well-targeted system of subsidy delivery to LPG consumers through PEHL. This initiative of the government was aimed at rationalizing subsidies based on approach to cut subsidy leakages, but not subsidy per se. Applicable subsidy is directly transferred into the bank account of the beneficiaries. As on 28th of June 2019, more than 26.45 crore LPG consumers have joined the PEHEL scheme. PEHEL has helped in identifying closed accounts, multiple accounts and inactive accounts. This has helped in curbing diversion of subsidized LPG to commercial purposes. So Vishal, the mechanism is in place to ensure that there's no leakage and to also curb corruption.
Well, yes, indeed. In fact, this was one of the major schemes of the NDA government in its first tenure.
Absolutely. And now moving on to the next question, and this one is to the Ministry of Corporate Affairs and asked by member K.R. Arjunan. And he has asked whether it is a fact that government is considering to debar certain auditors from auditing for 5 years.
Well, in its answer, the Corporate Affairs Ministry says that a petition under Section 145 of the Companies Act 2013 was filed by Union of India through the Regional Director, Western Region, before the National Company Law Tribunal NCLT Mumbai branch against the auditor Mukesh Maniklal Choksi of the company Zen Shaving Limited, and the said bench has debarred him for a period of 5 years. As per its order dated 6th of February 2019. Now, the appeal against the impunch order is pending before the NCLT, New Delhi. Another petition under the said section has also been filed by Government of India through the Regional Director, Western Region, against Deloitte Haskins and Cells LLP and others of the company Infrastructure Leasing and Financial Services Limited. Further, the petition under the said sections being filed by Union of India through Registrar of Companies, Pune, against Auditor Dattatreya Maruti Khune of the company NetWealth Agrotech India Limited. Well, the next question is to the Ministry of Earth Sciences, and this one is from member Vinay P. Sahasrabudhe, and he goes on to ask the government what research has been carried out for the cryosphere studies in Himalayas in the last 3 years, and also what are the observations and conclusions derived from the conducted research, and have any suggestions been made for the steps to be taken to preserve the Himalayan glaciers.
The government has given a very detailed answer here, and the government goes on to say that National Centre for Polar and Ocean Research under the Ministry of Earth Sciences has undertaken studies in the Western Himalaya in Chandra Basin in Laul Spiti since 2013. A total of 6 glaciers, namely Sutri Dhaka, Batal, Bara Shingri, Samudra Tapu, Gepang Ghat and Kunjam of this basin are monitored for mass, energy and hydrological balance. NCPOR has established a high-altitude research station named Himanch in Himalaya at 4,000 altitude at Sutri Dhaka, a remote location in Laul Spiti district of Himachal Pradesh. Further, the government says that studies carried out by NCPOR in Chandra Basin indicates varying rates of retreat of these glaciers in the range of 13 to 33 meter per year. The rate of melting varies from glacier to glacier depending upon topography and climatic variability of the region. Mass balance measurements at Batal and Sutri Dhaka glaciers during peak ablation revealed the role of debris in influencing the mass ice losses. Debris of the thickness above 2 cm have reduced the melting rates up to 70%, whereas the debris cover of below 2 cm thickness has accelerated melting up to 10% of total melting. Since the glacier health is affected by both natural and human factors, efforts towards reduction in greenhouse gases are critical towards conservation of the glaciers in Himalaya. Moving on to the next question, and this one is to the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, and this question has been asked by member Ami Yagnik, and she has asked the initiatives taken by the government to increase male participation in family planning.
Well, the Health Ministry in its answer says that the initiatives undertaken by the government to increase male participation in family planning are observation of vasectomy fortnight in the month of November every year in all states of India to raise awareness on male participation and promotion of male sterilization, training of service providers in no scalpel vasectomy to enhance the pool of service providers, condom boxes set up in health facilities to enable clients to access condoms in privacy. Under home delivery of contraceptive scheme, contraceptives including condoms are delivered to the beneficiaries by ASHA. Substantially increased compensation for male sterilization under the enhanced compensation scheme for sterilization, and a 360-degree media campaign underlining the role of men in family planning to encourage men to adopt family planning methods. So, Kriti, these are the questions which we have for our viewers in Question Hour today.
Absolutely, Vishal, and we'll get more questions for our viewers in the subsequent editions. Meanwhile, Prashnkal, with our colleagues Arvind Singh and Kriti Singh on the other side. Stay tuned to Rajya Sabha Television.